Okay.
Becky, how are you? And welcome. You
Thank
always
you.
seem to motivate me tremendously throughout the years. I mean, the one thing is that I've learned a lot from you, and it's great motivational that you've done to me. You know, it's crazy how we've come so close. You've always helped me, no matter what. You've always been there. So tell me, I have this whole thing right now. I'm going to tell you, I have a friend of mine that was working in the car business. Then he's doing with some company digital finance retailing of people that want to buy a car or even people that want to refinance a car.
Hmm.
So he was in the automotive industry, he was selling cars, and now he's doing this, and it's just virtual. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? What are you hearing about this F&I digital retailing? What is it? What's going on?
No, well, there's a lot of couple things that you said there. First and foremost, does a dealer really want to go ahead and offer their F&I on a complete virtual, utilizing a virtual F&I manager? And that means that the customer, that they're doing the complete process from beginning to end to finalizing the transaction online through a virtual F&I person. And that is available. And from what I understand, does remarkably well. And dealers are able to increase their F&I performance, or it makes for a greater impact in their F&I performance. And I know it doesn't stand to reason that it would, but it just does. And or then you have the digital retailing platform. The platform, and there's different providers, Richie, that are out there, as you well know. Roadster is one; it's a great digital retail platform, and it provides various ways to get to the end result. And the end result is the customer has a better understanding of what their payment might be and or what they may qualify for to some extent. Then, of course, and I use that name. There are other providers, CarNow, also pretty much the same thing. The customer can shop the vehicle online and then also be able to determine payment options, that sort of thing, and determine some sort of credit criteria. Then we also have another provider who actually offers the hard inquiry to a final approval through a bank source completely online. And it's really dependent upon what a dealer wants to offer that customer, whether they want the customer to go through the entire digital journey to finalize with an approval or not, and or if you want that F&I virtual F&I manager. What exactly does that look like? Hopefully I answered that right.
Okay, so Becky, do you think that in the next couple of months, maybe 5 or 6 months, are dealers going to be ready to go on there and do financing online? Do you think that's a reality, or do you think that that could only be a thought?
I think it's more than a thought. I think that there is reality of that going on right now with the innovative dealers who quite get where this is going in the next year, 2, 3 years down the road. Then you have the dealers who are, hey, why change? I'm doing really well now. And in fact, even through this post-COVID or COVID-19 crisis, many of these dealers weren't necessarily affected all that much. And that is not enough to get them to change the way that they currently do business. And let's face facts, they've been very profitable doing it the way that they've been doing it for the past 20, 30 years or more. And some of these guys are diehards. They're just not going to change. Why change? Because right now, hey, I'm getting the job done. We're selling cars and we're making more profit than we ever had before. So what's the reason to change? Then you have the other mindset. You have the other dealer, the innovators, if you will, the earlier adopters who are saying, you know, I hear what you're saying, but why not offer the customer both? Why not have non-traditional and traditional options that are available? Why can't we cut this time down and shorten the time it takes for our customers to buy a car, to look for a car, and also to obtain financing. Why do we want to insist that a customer is going to spend the entire day in the dealership buying a car? What kind of sense does that mean? So they get it. And especially with what's happened now, it has given them the reason to say, you know what, let's put these policy and procedures in place. Let's take a look at this, and let's take charge of what's happening now and over the next 2-3 years from now. But not every dealer is buying it. No.
And Becky, I want to bring this up. COVID-19, right?
Mm-hmm.
In America, right? We usually prepared when something like this happens. We don't put a process in place unless we hit the wall. In the automotive industry, all right, since I've been in it, the only way you're going to get a dealer to change is when it costs him money in his pocket. If not, he's not changing, right?
That's right.
COVID-19 happened, just like September 11, and we put procedures, process, measure points together. Well, guess what? COVID-19 is here. In the last 8 weeks, we are prepared or preparing ourselves, not for COVID-19. That's going to be over. I said at COVID-19, nothing in China lasts, you know what I mean, as a joke. I saw that on Facebook, by the way. It wasn't my joke. So I had a meeting with Bart and Dominic and a few of my partners and Michael Ohnheim. And I said, oh, by the way, that's not going to last. And it was at the beginning. And they said, really? It's not going to last? What the hell's going on? But there'll be another one coming out. Now, we don't know. So we better put a process in place for the next one. Because let me tell you, we were on track to do 18.5 million cars. We're right now on track to do 12 and a half. Here's the issue with that. Okay. The inventory of the OEMs has reached an all-time high. Now, why is that? Because we're not selling cars. So they do the projections and they retooled for what needs to be in the marketplace, right? Guess what? They're not selling anything. Okay, the registrations, I'm scared to even announce the registrations I got from IHS in my inboxes. I would scare everybody. But let me tell you this right now. I have the data and it's scary. And the all-time high on inventory is a problem because now what we were on track to do, we're not doing it. So the OEMs have an all-time output of inventory that's crazy. So here it is, Mr. Consumer. If you're watching, this is the best time to buy a car because they're going to put any deals together right now. By the way, I'm going on my cable show on Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday, right? Right. So let me tell you, that's what I'm going to promote because, like, I got to tell you this. It's at all-time high, and we got to start selling some cars right now.
Yeah.
Hey, we're on track to do 18.5 million, and we're on track to do what? 12.5 or 12.7 million cars.
Wow.
We've dropped drastically because of these 2 months has really hurt us. Okay, so you brought a valid point with COVID-19 and how it could be back into, F&I online. And I got to tell you something. All you got to search is, I want to refinance my vehicle. I want to finance a car. And you see all these platforms that are doing it. Now, there's a percentage of consumers that are going to go for that. And here's the problem. These companies that are doing it, Mr. Dealer, that could be costing you money because what about if that lead they're able to get and sell that lead to your broker, to your competitor broker? I tell you what, I got a few brokers on my game that buy leads from me. I mean, that's the last thing you want, Mr. Dealer, okay? So pay attention to this, and if you don't change now, you're going to have a problem, okay? It's just like in the 90s. I remember when internet came out, nobody wanted a BDC. Dr. John Menarchik and the Nicholson Group, we put our first BDC ever that was in Apple Honda, okay, before anybody, okay?
Mhm, mhm.
We were with the Nicholson Group at the time. There was no thing on online. When eBay Motors came out, guess what? We put the whole feed on there. Okay, and then we sold cars on eBay Motors. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so that's where that press release back in the day in '99 is out with me and Dr. John. I got news for you. This is a major change. I mean, dealers got to take action to this, because if not, they're going to be left behind, because you got brokers out there, you got different people that are in the car business. I mean, Caravana has been doing this already for quite some time. Do you want them to keep eating up your market share? Tell me what you think about that.
Well, I can tell you what I think about it. I know Carvana has certainly made a big, big hit, and they, in my opinion, they have a proven model, and that customers will buy online, and obviously they're what, the number 8 retailer, pre-owned retailer in the country, that they sold more pre-owned vehicles than I believe Lithia, Sonic, and AutoNation combined. So something like that has to tell us something, that something seems to be working. But ironically enough, there are so many out there who say that Carvana is a colossal loser. They're losing millions and millions of dollars, and they're not very successful. And I guess they've kind of convinced themselves that sooner or later that Carvana is going to be out of the game. Whether that's true, right, wrong, or not, I got to tell you this: the model's definitely proven, and if it's not them, the genie's already out of the bottle. And the reality of it is, it's done. Whether it's done by them or somebody else, somebody's going to pick up the ball and they're going to run with it. Look at, just the other day we were having this conversation about Amazon. You know, who would have ever thought? And I know people don't want to hear that either, but the reality of it was, you know, people were thinking, who's going to continue to, who's going to buy these products online? Who's going to buy clothes online? Who's going to buy shoes online? Nobody's going to be buying this stuff online. And look, I mean, we're buying stuff online all the time now. So it's like we don't even think twice about it anymore. And of course, Amazon at one time, they were losing colossals of big money as well, but they turned that bad boy around real quick. And now look where Jeff Bezos is today. So where is this whole thing going? I don't think we have to reinvent the wheel. I just think that, like you mentioned, I think we've got to be a lot smarter about this. And I get it, car guys, you know, you've been very, very successful doing it your way for so long. I get it. But you've got to be able to think out of that you got to think outside the box, and you've got to think about ways that you got to think about your competitor. And if it's not Carvana, it's CarMax. If it's not CarMax, it's Echo Park. If it's not Echo Park, it's somebody else who is willing to go ahead and do business the way that you don't want to do business. Look at Blockbuster and Netflix, for crap's sake. Look what happened to them. Talk about a big freaking giant going out of business because they wouldn't see the light. Netflix realized, hey, you know what? Instead of making customers go out of their homes to go ahead and rent these movies, and of course, Blockbuster's whole model was be late. We want you to be, they got paid a lot on those penalties, right? Late penalties. And so they didn't want to push their thinking outside of that. And meanwhile, Netflix just took it, right, and ran with it. And meanwhile, where's Blockbuster today? Out of business. So the thing is, maybe you're not going out of business so much, but you're just not going to be as successful. Why in the world would you want to push that business to somebody else? Why would you not want to be able to offer the customer the ability to do the shopping and financing online earlier on? Why wouldn't you want to why wouldn't you want to help to reduce the time it takes to buy a car? Why? What is the sense? And giving that business up to a competitor. See, that part I don't get. And it's a matter of, do you not get this thing? I mean, do you not understand? These are all the tools. I mean, one thing that we've talked about in F&I for the longest, at least I have, is utilizing all the tools in our toolbox. And every tool matters that we bring to the table. And not being versed in leasing or F&I fundamentals and understanding our banks, our niches, our deal structure, understanding ways to be able to communicate better with our customers and building better relationships are so important, and attracting more customers, retaining our customers, and impacting our results. So we got to use all this tech. We got to utilize the technology and the tools that is available to us to make a greater impact. Why don't people get that? I don't know why they don't. I think I do. It has a lot to do with ego.
You know, Becky, it's funny you should say that, because the problem that there is right now is dealers, especially in the area I'm in, dealers out here are not really advanced. Okay. When I came to Apple, I flew in from Texas.
Okay.
I was at Charlie Thomas organization. I was there through the Nicholson Group, just like this company, Apple. And the reason we did a BDC, because we had the data about the phone rooms back in the day with salespeople. Nobody was doing that out here. So they had a phone room. It was not a BDC. They had a phone room at Charlie Thomas Chevrolet that worked like this. I used to call it a detention room. So did Dr. John, and so did Steve Nicholson, because that's what it was, a detention room. You take salespeople that are good talking like me and you are talking, versus on the phone, no good. So that's what happened. Then I flew there, and then I gave Garsted the idea, and he says, okay, I want to do this. So that's what happened. But Garsted was he was one of these dealers that was always thinking the next step. These dealers out here don't think like that. Not only out here in Jersey, some of them are advanced and some of them are not.
A lot of businesses
That's
like that.
a big problem. You take a state like Texas, you take a state like Florida, it's all about selling cars.
Yeah.
It's all about rocking and rolling, not interested, okay? By the way, a lot of people don't know, 30% of the output of pickups get sold in one state, Houston, Texas, and the whole state of Texas, bottom line. Okay.
Yeah.
End the story. Okay. Let me tell you, these dealers out here, they don't know how to do this. They don't know, because it's always changing and it's always moving forward to the next step. And I'm seeing a real spin online. I don't go a lot on social media. You know, Becky, I don't know if you realize, throughout the years, I've changed my whole social media exposure. I go in and out and I'm done. I don't post a lot. If I got to post a blog or something, I do it. My good friend Brandon, right? Mm-hmm. Or for friends of mine that use it, you too. I only do it to my friends. That's it. I don't really charge for that. I just do it to my friends, you know. Mm-hmm. But I don't go a lot on social media, but I'm hearing a lot on social media, because we have tools, or listening tools, and we hear the chatter, right? And also, Clickable has this chatter that we hear. It's a listening tool, and we get information. There's a lot of people talking about digital retailing abroad. In other words, across all spectrums. Consumers, business pages, groups, everybody is talking about digital retailing, not just automotive. I'm talking to you about digital retailing as a whole.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, absolutely.
And we have the data about these hashtags they're using and all this, because what we are is information gallery, you know, Clickable. That's what we do. We're basically a data-driven company, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what we do. So let me tell you, there's a lot of chatter on this digital thing and digital retailing. Do you know there's a lot of stores that are going online, right now, that warrant your local economy stores are developing e-commerce sites in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I can bet JCPenney would wish that they would have gotten a lot more innovative. And then there's peer stores and that unfortunately are hurting really bad, because they didn't see this as an alternative and working, side by side. And brick and mortar is still a great place. Don't get me wrong. It really it is. But you have to work everything. You got to work it all. You cannot not look at the way that the world is changing and saying, "Hey, I'm not changing with you guys. You're all on it on your own. We're going to keep doing the business the way that we've always been doing it. We're waiting until the customer makes their way into the F&I office to discuss these terms." And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, one of these days, these customers aren't showing up in your F&I office, and if they are, they're showing up with a check made out for the exact amount. That's what you've got. Is that what you want? Because that's what's going to happen. And it is a matter of building that engagement, taking advantage of these tools and technologies, and being able to communicate the customer way, and being able to be that differentiator. And communication is key. It is key. It is how you engage. It is how that customer feels about you in that relationship. And let's not kid ourselves. And especially today, more so than ever before, it is about the relationship that you have with that customer and getting started their way. I don't care if it's chat. I don't care if it's texting, but you got to get out from under that desk and engage. One of the things that I also talked about, and I keep talking about this, so hopefully I'm not boring, but I'll talk about how we, back in the day, in 1997, I'm really kind of aging myself a little bit here, too, Richie. So, we met customers out at the middle of a showroom in AutoNation days, and this is where we were presenting menus for the first time ever, that we weren't using the ball and chain mentality, bring the customer into the box, let's close them down, which I was really good at doing that too. But anyway, this was the complete opposite. And let me tell you something, it was bizarre. It was like, are you kidding me? This was radical.
Right.
Nobody had ever proven. I wish everybody would understand this, because I don't know how to get through to these guys because they're so freaking hard at it. But I remember it was radical. We were actually disclosing to the customer base payment, the terms, their interest rate before we presented products. And people were freaking out. They're like, how the hell is this going to work? Are you freaking out of your mind? Becky, get back into the box. I'm not telling you, this is the truth. This is what it was. In fact, for the 30 days out, I'm thinking, how the hell is this all going to work? And then we found that the more that you're upfront with a customer, meeting customers at a kiosk, hundreds of feet away from an F&I office. We didn't drag the customer back into an F&I office to print up the documents. We left the customer there. We left them at a kiosk and walked back to this admin office to print up the documents. And now let me tell you something. You know what they all said? Don't do that. Holy crap. You're giving customers time to talk themselves out of the deal, Becky. Are you crazy? I just got the customer to sign up for everything. There's no way I can do that. Well, come to find out, we proved that you could absolutely leave a customer alone. Dude, go print up the deal. Everything's good. Everybody's fine. There's never a time in that time period, whether it be a new car store, mega store, that the customer ever talked themselves out of it. I don't know. I don't talk with people. So aren't we talking about the same thing?
Yeah.
Aren't we talking about the same thing? Instead of me meeting a customer at a kiosk, where am I meeting them? I'm meeting them online. What's the difference? Out there in the middle of the show, online.
I'm glad that not glad that this happened, but glad that the car dealerships are going to start going online, because there's a lot of, I call them bullshitters out there with SEO, right? So, I get you traffic, I'm branding you, and no conversion, right? I know a lot of these companies that I deal with, right? That I'm their back end and they're full of shit, all right? Now you need to convert, because it's called digital retailing. So those guys that kept telling about SEO to a customer and SEO, I'm not interested. Now it's digital retailing. Okay. Now you're going to rate who's the real company and who's not. Right? That's what I like about this, because the digital retailing, I got a lot of customers that have nothing to do with the car business in different areas that are converting everything into e-commerce sites. that are selling now. They have let go their SEO companies, because what is about now is digital retailing. You know, we've had companies like Home Depot and Lowe's through LookSmart for the last 7 8 years. So we're in the digital retailing for quite some time now, right? Not automotive, of course, because automotive is the last person to get involved with anything, right? Like sales funnels, they're the last person to get involved with sales funnels and SMS funnels. We've been doing sales funnel and SMS funnels for the last 7 years.
That's
For
it.
6 years or 7 years since I left my other company, right? So we've been concentrating on that with triggers, with how to follow up customers, how to dump that lead that's no good no more, clean up your data in Infusionsoft, you know, all this kind of stuff. The car business waits to the end. And this has been going on in the industry for the last 6 or 7 years. The e-commerce business has blown up.
Yeah.
Blown up. When this coronavirus happened, this is what really happened. I got in less than 48 hours an order for 198 e-commerce landing pages. We got 3 teams that developed this, and we had to just outsource because they needed the work done right away. People that sell sneakers, people that sell shirts, people that sell branded shirts. I mean, it was crazy. Right? The car business is not even at a level, not even close to it. Well, guess what, guys? It's going to happen. You guys are going to have to go e-commerce because like Caravana did it. Other companies are going to come that do used cars and are going to get into it. We don't even know how to promote cars for digital retailing. Let me tell you, Brandon and myself have a great product, which is called Competition Walk Around. And he already tested it at his place. You do that and you do a live and then you boost that live, okay? And you put it on YouTube and you pay search. Now the consumer is seeing how this walk around is working and what kind of professionals you have in your company. And with companies like Judges, you bring in Kelly Blue Book, you bring Edmunds, you bring these companies to be your judges. That's the consumer, right? Now that you're going to sell digital, we have a whole process about this digital retailing in place to reach out to the customer, not only for that, but also the marketing aspect of it, right? Because now we get custom audience on Facebook and we do a boost ad and we do it on YouTube and now you're hitting it. That's why my live at one time had 20, 30,000, 40,000. We were testing, A/B testing on custom audience and seeing what was going on. It doesn't matter. Now what's happening is I'm getting as much more traffic on YouTube because I'm just spending more money on YouTube doing A/B testing. That's what we do. We do A/B testing and we lay out money and figure out what's working and what's not. Right? That's why, because it's about the boost ad. That's why I never go live unless I go on my fan page because we promote it. Right? Because what we're doing is getting data, enough data to see if it's going to work and for what industry it's going to work, right? Because we're just not in the car business at all. We're in different industries. My partners are, right? So that's what we do. We gather data. So that's why that happens. Now, what's going to go on is this is big because that's how you got to sell today. Jim Ellis Group did that, and they deliver a lot of cars online. They've been online for quite some time, right? So it's happening in a lot of different stores, right? And dealers don't. You can't have something that your competitor is beating you on, right? So you got to make sure everybody has the same product because now you got problems. And this digital retailing is getting bigger in different industries. And here's the problem with that, right? Why dealers got to jump on this today, not yesterday, because now the consumer is getting used to it.
That's right.
What happens? We're all creatures of habit. That's what humans are. Creatures of habits. That's why I smoke about 5 cigars a day, because I have a habit, right? Okay. So we're all creatures of that. Here's the problem with that. Now that consumer is used to, you're creating a habit of them buying stuff online. What's going to happen in the next year and a half or 2 years? Now they need to buy cars online too. And you know what? The stores that are offering that, guess what? You lose, right? Because you're dealing with the human people and you're dealing with creatures of habit.
So unfortunately, I mean, there are so many. There are a lot of there are innovators out there. So let's just they really are. They get it. They're doing it, and they're doing a great job. And you know what? We don't have this necessarily all figured out. We don't have this all necessarily figured out. No one has proven the recipe yet, right? The secret sauce of making this whole thing work. But I will say that there are some really great innovator dealers out there who really, Jim Ellis is one of them, and who really understands the benefit. His message was so awesome. Awesome.
Oh, amazing.
He really nailed it. I mean, nailed it. And I was so happy for him because he gets it. Beaver is another automotive group. They get it. Great message. It's all about making the buying experience easy, fun, and safe. Easy, fun, and safe, convenient, right? That's where it's all about. Convenience factor. We're not making you go through hoops to buy a car from us. We are going to make this easy, fast, and fun and safe. Easy, fast, fun, and safe. So I don't get what is so hard to figure out about this whole thing.
Right.
I just don't get it. It's like, why can't you figure this out? Yet we still are working with dealers who are waiting. Listen to this. Dealers that are sitting back waiting until their customer gets into an F&I office to talk about this F&I stuff. And it's like, I don't know. It's just very old school to me. It really makes, I mean, I know we want to protect the golden goose, right? We want to protect the golden goose, protect that F&I profit center. I don't blame you. I get that. But is that protecting the F&I profit?
Well, I'm going to share something. You could still earn a lot of money in F&I if you do it right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Consumers want a warranty. Consumer want product. Okay. Yeah. It's not a matter of you jamming it down their throat. Consumers want. As a matter of fact, let me just share something right now. I got a couple of groups that have reached out to me about selling warranties online.
Service contract. Yeah.
And this is what I told them. I said, I'm glad you brought that up. Do you know why I'm glad you brought that up? For one reason. Your F&I guy, when he's done selling product, maybe he missed a warranty. The customer knows that you have it on your site. It could be shopwarranty.abcmotors.com. It could be a subdomain. And you can put it on your website, Mr. Dealer. Oh, Rich, you already think about that. Oh, yeah. So now if your penetration 70%, you can be hitting another 20% with an option to finance. Oh, I said, yeah. Listen to me. They're selling a warranty, and if they're not, the customer wants a remote start, wants to load it up. I don't want the warranty. I don't want the warranty because the guy probably hit him at $2,500. And guess what? Take it away. Take it away from that finance guy, and now you have another outlet to get warranties. So are you gonna, if you sell 100 warranties, now you add that to your penetration. Now from 75 or 80, you're at 90 plus. Oh,
well, I don't know about 90 plus, but here's what I do know. I think.
What about your retention? Well, I'm just throwing numbers, right? So
yeah. I mean, before you get hit on that one, like I just want to protect you.
So let's say your store is at 75%, and you get 5 or 6 customers.
The average service contract penetration, I mean, I don't know what stores you're in, but for me, it's probably about 57%.
Oh, this particular
that.
store is at 70.
One store.
It's,
Okay.
I mean, this particular auto group's at 72%.
Well, I know that there's stores that do that. Don't get me wrong, but I think on the average across the board, I just don't want people calling in and going, "Wait a second, what are you talking about?" And you know how that goes. So let's just say that the average.
I'm going by these two stores. They're both in Ohio,
Yeah.
and both stores are over 70%.
Yeah. Well,
And
the average is probably about 57%, if that.
And they have two options with these warranties. They have the in-house warranty that every car gets, every used car gets delivered. If not, they won't deliver the car.
Right. Well, they're kind of not into their numbers. But the thing is that I really wanted to, you know, for those that are listening in, again, I think you're making an absolute valid point as far as the impact it has as far as revisiting your customers on either the service contract that they didn't take advantage of at time of delivery. Now here again, back in the day, and we still try it on. We're going to go ahead and have these SPIF programs, whatever, taking place in service to promote service contract sale after sale. And frankly, guys, it has worked, but a very, very small percentage of dealers. For the most part, it doesn't. So what you're talking about is automating this process, and where again, that is going back in front of your customer and making sure that, hey, by the way, we noticed that you didn't take advantage of the service contract. However, at time of delivery, here again, we do have this available to our customers, and or here's some different options that you may not have been aware of, and or maybe even some of the ancillary products that you may have that you can offer after delivery. Why aren't dealers doing a better job? And see, you got to automate the process. What you're talking about is an Amazon checkout experience, which is really cool. So customers, so the dealership is really pretty much following up with their customer, their own customer. That's their customer. They're supposed to follow up with their own customer.
Well,
too.
here's what the thing is, Becky. A customer that has a service issue and makes an appointment goes to your website. Would it be nice, Mr. Dealer, to have a pop-up about your warranty and they can buy it right online? That customer's having a service issue. Maybe that customer ran out of warranty. Your site's being hosted anyway. It costs you so much money. So what? Throw a pop-up up there, right? Extended warranty available to our consumers online.
Yeah.
Click.
Well,
now watch this. Click here, right? Now, a new customer that just bought a car, maybe they didn't offer them the warranty. Because why? Because the deal's maxed out and they couldn't get the advance.
Well, first of all, one thing I want to do, I'm going to teach you something. I'm a teacher, right? Service contract, not warranty. Warranty is implied free. So it's a service contract that we offer to our customers because no, it's not free. So I just wanted to kind of help you out with that one. But here again, I think that you're right that, as much as we'd like to go ahead and do 100% of products to 100% of our customers 100% of the time, you hit it on the nail. Guess what? It's not always happening that way, Mr. Dealer. And what you know it, maybe the customer, didn't get take advantage of a service contract. Maybe in fact, we weren't able to go ahead and fit the service contract into the financing. Maybe the customer maybe at that particular time didn't have the additional down payment in order to take advantage of a service contract. And things change all the time, right? So maybe, I don't know, 2 weeks could be a month down the road where maybe a customer now has the ability to pay for a service contract, that sort of thing. So why wouldn't you want to do your due diligence and revisit that option with your own customer? Because if you don't, what's happening? Somebody else is doing it, right? What's happening is that they buy the public listing that's available. These other companies, and they're going to market to your company, your customers. So why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? And
here's what the thing is: it's no risk for you to sell a warranty online, right? But here's the beauty of it: That way, Mr. Dealer, you see what digital retailing is. You start with the warranty,
Yeah.
and if they're buying these warranties online, what does that tell you? Okay. Now reach out, inbox me, and I'll put you with the right people. Now, I don't do this, but I know the right people. Inbox me or call me at 631-578-9018, or inbox Becky and she'll put you with the right people. Because guess what? Hold on. Oh, let me test that, because it's much easier to sell a warranty online than do financing and all that. Let's see how that goes. And the only thing that's going to happen to you, Mr. Dealer, is you're going to make more money. Okay.
Well, I think you retain your customers. I mean,
Right. But
dealers that
I mean, a lot of dealers say, I don't want to sell a warranty online. Okay, why not? It's not going to cost you more, because you're not going to kill it from selling it in your showroom. You're just adding something, right? The stores that I have, not dealers, the e-commerce, local stores that gone e-commerce now, they're not closing down. I think Corona, they're fine. But they have that processing because it's just extra. It's on your website. You put a pop-up, boom, extended warranty or service contracts, what you say, available, right? Click here. When they click there, bang, and financing available. Oh, by the way, you can finance it. So now that customer left your showroom with a deal maxed out. So the salesman made upfront all the money. They couldn't get a warranty because the deal was just maxed out. Maybe they had a trade. They were upside down by $5,000. Everything is in the structure, right?
right.
They left and they don't have an extended warranty, but they got the pitch.
Do you know how many dealers? I mean, this is what blows me away about dealers, that they just don't realize what's going on in their own backyard. And it's just, they just don't get it. So back some time ago, I'm in a dealership in Memphis, and this is a while ago.
Memphis is a tough town.
Oh, I love Memphis. Memphis is like, oh, I loved it. When I was going to Memphis, are you kidding me? I had a blast. Those guys were a lot of fun to work with. I mean, just really a tremendous amount. We had a blast. We really did have a good time. But the thing is that I'll never forget this. I will never forget the situation. And I'm going to try to go ahead and springboard this to what we're talking about now. So work with me on this one. So here I am, and this big, gigantic Ford dealership will go nameless. But they are selling a ton of freaking cars. I mean, a lot, 700 and above. I mean, these guys were cranking them out. So I said to the F&I director, I'm like, what's really interesting here is that you guys didn't do a lot of subprime credit. And he says to me, well, we don't have that much, Beck. I'm like, you don't have much? What are you talking about? Look where you're located. Don't get me wrong or anything, but that seems a little odd that you don't have subprime credit here. Where is it going? And he's like, well, we don't. I'm like, it's got to be going somewhere. Something's not right. You can't tell me that you're located here and you guys don't have subprime credit. Well, we have a little bit of it. I said, well, what would you think that the percentage of subprime? Oh, it's like 10%. Well, interesting enough, down the other side of the street, come to find out, there was this other dealer who was, that's all they saw was they had a lot of subprime customers, right? So the deal was that, and the word was on the street, if you would listen, that they would actually pay up $500 for an application for a customer who wasn't able to obtain financing at your dealership. So a salesperson's like, shit, I'm all in. I'm going to get $500 for my application to go ahead and send my customer across the way here, so you guys can go ahead and sell a car to a customer who has slow pay history. I'll do it in a heartbeat second. So that's what was happening. And I'm like, do you understand what's going on? So you know what? Here again, we're talking about the same thing all over again. Service contracts. So you're not going to offer a service contract, maybe? I don't know. The pricing's a little bit off. Now, who's to say that your finance person, I know everybody's up front, everybody's hunky-dory, isn't going and saying, you know what, to that customer, oh, by the way, maybe you can go ahead and take advantage of a service contract through a friend of mine that has the better pricing. that I can go ahead and now I'm getting a better spiff on.
Mhm.
And hell, I mean, I'm making $100 on it, right? And I'm going to send this guy down the street because your pricing, whatever company it may be, is overpriced. How many of these product providers, overprice their products? They make it to the point where you can't sell one. It's just enormous. And some of these dealers, they have on these stiff freaking admin fees. You can't fit it into their financing. What do you want me to do? I can't sell it. But
Wow.
I can still make a living off of it. I'm sending it down the street, sending that customer down the street to buy a service contract, and I get $500. That goes on. So it's like, dealers, wake the freak up. This is your reinsurance business, and you don't realize that? And you're just letting customers leave, see you later. There's no revisiting, no nothing.
That's amazing. Becky, I never understood dealers' thoughts. Even when I started in the car business, I was
here's what I do know.
I never understood their head, really.
I know what their head is.
That's why I was never a dealer.
I know what their head is. I do. Sometimes you make too much money. And you know what? It doesn't, and that means your head's you're making too much money. And that's it. It's like you don't care. It's like, for that, I don't care. They don't care.
Back in the day, they used to spend all this crazy money in ads.
Yeah.
Newspaper, cable, but nobody ever worked their DMS. Nobody ever went to their DMS and said, you know what? Give me the last 3 years of the customers that are there. Especially in Jersey, nobody did that. Again, they used to spend cable and newspaper galore, 30, 40 grand, okay? Before co-op came, when there was not even holdback. Stupid money. I never understood that. I says, you guys got your own database. I never understood this. They wouldn't, when I was a manager, you know what I did? I used to print, and I had 8 salespeople. I used to give each salesperson for them to follow up these customers. Mm-hmm. Today, they have all kinds of software, but back in the day, I never.
But it's just crazy. If you think through this, what you're just saying and what I'm just saying, why wouldn't you, as a dealer, just to protect yourself, revisit it, make sure my finance person did go over these product offerings with you, right? Well, no, he sent me down the street. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you, Mr. Dealer, have a way with,
there's a company out there in the car business that's really good, Auto Alert. Okay.
Oh, yeah, they are good. I like Auto Alert.
They're great. It's a great software for dealers. You know what? A lot of these dealers out here don't even sign up with them.
Well, they have their attitude about them. They're too much or whatever.
Whatever it is, but you know what? It's never too much because they're really giving you up.
They don't use all the tools, Richie. I have to go into it frustrates me, obviously. Sometimes I wonder, why I even have any hair left. But I go into these stores and I'm like, why wouldn't you utilize that tool? Why? They tell you, the customers who are actually coming out from under their manufacturer's warranty. They let you know it's 6 months out before the customer comes out of their manufacturer's warranty. Well, if it were me in that seat and I get paid the way that I know that you're getting paid, why in the world wouldn't you go ahead and revisit those customers and say, oh, by the way, I understand that you're coming out from under the manufacturer's warranty, and wouldn't you be interested in taking advantage of our service contract, for crap's sake? How hard is that? And the thing is, they'll actually even create an email for you. So you email it if you have the correct email, if F and I would do the
wow.
We're supposed to do, and validate the emails, right? We actually can follow up with every one of our customers, send them an email, give them a call, let them know, hey, by the way, just want to let you know, we know that you're coming outside of your manufacturer's warranty. Boy, do I have something I want to share with you. How easy is that? You automate it. You don't even have, you put it right there as a shopping cart for a customer to be able to check it out. And they don't even have to come into a dealership, into your store to buy it, and you don't utilize these tools. See, this is what I don't get. It's not a bitch. It really isn't a bitch session. It really isn't. But we want to utilize every tool in our toolbox to make a greater impact. Why? How easy is that? I guess, and the thing that I guess it's either you're lazy, you don't care, or you're making too much money.
Right.
People
Or they
change
just
the
don't have,
things.
you know what? Dealers don't have the focus. Like me and
Well, they
Brandon
don't care, I guess. I don't know. I
Me
mean,
and Brandon talk about it every morning at 5:30 in the morning. We're up grinding. By 7 o'clock.
Yes, you are. I know you are.
Everything's out there. The blogs are set. The videos are set. Everything's ready to rock. Becky, they're just not focused. They're not focused, and they don't know how to delegate either. Because a real dealer learns the art of delegation. It's not about the art of selling. Okay. It's about the art of delegation. When you have a company, you got to delegate. That's the key thing. It's not about that. They don't know how to do that because they don't have any training. They don't have, and dealers
There's
don't
no
want
accountability
to spend
to
money.
it. There's no
Dealers never
accountability.
invest in themselves. Okay. They never do because they think they know it all. And that's what the problem is.
Well,
On that note, Becky, all right, I got to roll because I got a meeting. I don't know if you noticed that I changed my scenery. I'm not at the backyard. I'm in my office, right?
yeah.
I came out here because we have a company meeting for 8 weeks now. I got all these people that just showed up for 8 weeks now. We haven't been able to have a real live meeting. Right?
Wow. Okay. Well, tell
I haven't gone.
today.
You know what? I haven't gone anywhere. Like that's where it is. There. That's the office. So
Awesome.
that's I'm here. So there's people coming in now. So Becky, it's like this is the first time in weeks that we've been able to talk. We've only talked on Zoom.
Yeah.
So we need to have a company meeting now and find out what next steps are for us and where we're headed and what we're going to do next.
Well, I want to thank you again, Richie, for having me on your show and on Facebook Live. I definitely, really appreciate you. And again, I just want to make sure that dealers realize that I'm not attacking anyone. I just want it just would be good that, hey, take a look at what you've got going. You know what I mean? Really kind of size it up, really strategize, really plan through it, really, take a look at what's really happening and go all in, right? And there's so much opportunity out there. So just take advantage of it and don't let others take advantage of you. So,
Becky, I got to say something. I thank you for always being there.
Thank you.
Throughout the years, I've had a rough time. Everybody knows that. I had a good time. Everybody knows that. But it's been a challenge, and you've always been there for me.
Yep.
I got to say, you've always been there. Brandon's been there. Certain people have always been there for me. You are the show here. This is your show. Right?
That's my show.
When I started this whole thing, you were there. You were one of the first guests, like Brandon and all that. And I thank you. I'm really blessed because in my lifetime, I got to meet such a wonderful person like yourself.
Oh, well, thank you.
I feel really blessed. And throughout the years, we've become more than anything. We've become more friends, So that's important to me. Relationship, it's what it's about, So I'm glad that we met in my life, and you've shown me a lot of stuff throughout my life that we've had together, a lot. So dealers, I'm always open to learning. I've learned a lot from Becky, how she looks at things, what she does, and how good her training is. Please, dealers, get her there, and soon you'll be seeing Becky in digital retailing. What are your thoughts about that, Becky?
Well, I love the topic, and I love everything. Innovator, thinking outside the box, get outside the box, get online, wherever. There are no more walls.
And try it with the dealer. Try it with the warranty. Sell warranties online. And if it works for you, that's the next step. Do A/B testing. Use it. It's there. It's available. Worst thing that can happen, you can sell 10 warranties, extended service contracts, right? 10 or 12. Would that help your retention? I don't know. Try it. You got nothing to lose but try it. I know that I'm going to try everything somebody tells me that has potential of making money, because then I put my spin on it, and I make sure that I make money. And if I don't, I kill it and I move something else.
Well, you know what? Again, if you do anything, if you're not, I mean, if you do anything at all, if you think through this, get your service contracts and get that business back in front of your customers.
I'll be
You
right
know,
back.
the second and third time, you've got to be able to have an aftermarket strategy that you put in place that's automated. Period. I don't care if you do anything else, but I got to tell you, if you're not doing that,
Absolutely.
I don't know. It's
Thanks a lot.
I mean,
We got to get together again. We got to do this again. And soon I'll be out of here. Soon I'll be moving to Florida. Thank God.
oh my God, you're going to Florida? Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Florida. Hey, Florida. Here it comes.
Hey, get out of there. Let's go.
Let's rock.